We're now about to go live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now live.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday where you are, and it's March, well, let me get the right date here, March 25th, am I right, Pete?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, did you by chance miss the, after the theme, there was a song we were supposed to play for 2 minutes, but no problem.
I'm discombobulated right now because,
Oh my God, listen, folks. This guy, Peter Cole's in the square. I'm Bob Plass, incidentally. This is Wow, It's Tuesday, if you're wondering. Westfield on Weekends show, westfieldonweekends.com for all the information about Westfield on Weekends. Anything we talk about here might be there. So, but Pete's been busy. I come in here and he's got Rich Sutter, who's taping a show, okay? And then I'm here taping a show, as you may know. We do it a little earlier so Bob can have more sleep in the morning. So I'm here on a Monday, taping for Tuesday. And following me, he's got another taping.
Yeah, Kenny Stomsky, your old buddy.
Oh, my God, my old buddy. I'm so glad. And who's on his show today?
I have no idea. He just put in that he was. I saw it pop up on the calendar, so I know he's coming in.
So he's making a debut.
He's doing
or something.
a monthly show now.
He's
gone to a monthly show.
I gotcha. Geez, I look so lonely here. Could you pull in closer so people can see my wrinkles? Look, everybody. There's Westfield outside on a rainy day. Now, tomorrow, I hope I don't want it to be rain. Well, maybe we need rain. I don't know.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah. That's good.
Because you're gonna have a guest and the Master of the Universe is coming in. No?
I think so. Yeah, and then we also have Mark Auerbach today. It's going to be theater talk and coffee clutch. What do you call it? Coffee clutch. Clatch, I think is the word. Pete, you've been really busy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did a site survey. I'm donating some equipment to go into a slot car track over in Southwick.
Slot car track.
Yes.
I don't even know. Wait a minute. Let me.
Our good friend Joe D. Remember when you were a kid, you had a track that would you'd electric slot, and then you'd apply voltage to the track.
Yes. Yeah. That was a train track.
And your car. No, this is a slot car.
Oh.
So the little pickup, the electric pickup, goes in the slot, and it powers a small car, or even a bigger car,
right,
around a track, and you race other cars of like design.
So you sit around the big table, and you have these
like
tiny
a big
cars.
Basement. This is huge.
Oh. And there is such a thing there?
It was huge when in the 50s and 60s.
Really?
Even into the 70s, and then it kind of waned.
Yeah.
Joe Didi in the Southwick Civic Fund found one out in Eastern Mass that was enormous.
Oh.
They went out, dismantled it, brought it back here, and his son, who's an electrician, reassembled it in the basement of the Southwick Community Center, the old church down by the Connecticut line in Southwick.
Of course, I know it.
In the basement, and now they did their grand opening their soft opening last Friday, testing it out.
Right.
And I had some equipment left over from my cousin Tina's house that we bought when we had to secure her house.
Uh-huh.
And so I have a couple of cameras and a system, and we can put that in there and broadcast the slot car racing when the kids are there.
Now, this sounds crazy.
It's very cool.
Okay, yeah, but okay. First, what's the name of the business?
Southwick Civic Fund.
Oh, Southwick Civic Fund. It's not called Slot Cars America or something.
No. It's owned and operated by the Southwick Civic Fund.
Okay, gotcha. But if you're going to be driving down the highway and you're looking for it, you go to. Is there a sign outside that here is this, or they just only have like little events or big events, races or whatever?
They bought the old Episcopal church
mm-hmm.
when the congregation went out.
Yeah.
They bought the old Episcopal church, and then they have so they have the church hall. They built a new building on the property for the food pantry.
Yeah.
And the church hall is open upstairs for different things, events
sure.
and things like that. So they have that. So yeah.
Oh, wild, wild. So the TV camera is going to be able to show the races. Now, I have a stupid question. All right. If you're racing and I'm racing and you got the car on a track, what makes my car go faster than yours? Because you're using...
So there's a couple things at play.
Okay.
If you go flat out, you're not going to make the turns. So there's some strategy to it. You have to
you have to
back
move
off
your
on the
hand.
throttle. Well, it's a pistol grip throttle.
Okay.
And you have to back off and go back and forth on it to get yourself around the corner. Otherwise, you can easily pop out of the track. You're not like glued to the track. You can pop out because you're still on wheels.
But you're going the same speed as the car next to you, only it's in the...
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. So if you were all good drivers, you're... How do you know who won?
There's a timing system for each track.
God, how many tracks on a... Can you...
I believe it is 6 lanes.
6 lanes. Oh, my gosh.
So let's take a look at this.
Oh, you actually... Look
This
at
is the
that.
this
Oh,
the
my
international-
God, it's fabulous.
This is the International Championships in Finland. And the track isn't quite as... It's more compact than that, but it's the same number of lanes.
Look at that. Okay, so for the radio folks, all right, it looks like a roller coaster.
Look at them going.
Look at how fast these things are. Oh, my God, I couldn't keep track of my own. Wait a minute. You can't.
I think they sped it up a little bit.
Oh, I'm going to say, this is going
look at
so
guys
fast.
flying off and stuff. And
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And so I get this. This is great. Now, where is how do you know where the beginning and the end of the thing
There's
is?
a start-finish line.
Oh, there is. Okay. Got it.
Look at that.
Slots. Okay.
Those cars are flying.
So
okay?
if folks in the area wanted to partake and people pay to play, is that what they do here?
I think this is just for the kids.
So it's normal.
It's
just like,
fun.
come on in and play.
Former NASCAR modified racer, local legend Bob Pulverieri was big into that when he was a kid.
Right.
And he came over and ran one of the cars and donated some memorabilia. They have racing banners up there and the hood of the front end of an old drag car that they mounted. It's really cool. I'm going to be donating some banners to it. I have an old ESPN and Nesson banner that we're going to donate to.
Oh, you're so good. Oh, yeah. Great. Good for you. Hey,
but it's a cool little thing. You know?
Yeah, as you were talking about turning that corner, I want to ask you this because James and I were talking, and he was behind the wheel, and of course I'm biting my nails and whatever, and you know, and like so many drivers, when he takes a turn on a corner. If he's going a certain speed and the light turns green, he takes the turn and you know how it goes, your car kind of goes into the lane that is going forward and you're going the other way, and it kind of cuts the top here. You know what I'm talking about? And
centrifugal force will push you to the outer edge of a curve.
Okay, all righty. So then what I said, oh, James, you take that curb so sharply. We're in the other lane. If there were a car there, you could have whatever. And, of course, I'm getting flack back. Listen to that. And so I said, when you're taking a turn, you kind of slow up, if I'm not mistaken.
Depends on how you take the turn.
Okay. But aren't you supposed to go a little forward, slow down, and then go right into that lane and not do that turn that you were talking about that those guys on that slot car thing do?
So the force of centrifugal force, when you're going around a curve, if you don't maintain your speed...
Is it going to pull me to the right or to the left?
It would push you out of the curve. So it would push you to the left.
Okay, so naturally, then you don't want to go to the left because there are cars there.
So you want to. So if you're making a curve, like the best example of this type of curve, is going over 202 over the mountain towards Holyoke Community College.
Yeah,
there's a curve when you get down to the bottom of the hill.
Oh yes, I know.
So if you hit the right hand line on that curve,
right,
and you're either maintaining speed or accelerating a little bit,
right,
that centrifugal force is gonna keep you tight on that side and only push you out so you don't go over the line.
Well, I think that there are
But
a
that
lot
comes that comes from I was when I was younger. One of my companies that I worked for had me attend when they used to have this a defensive skid school, defensive driving and skid school.
Skid school.
Correct, and they taught you how to deal with corners and how to survive a hydroplane event and how to survive an ice event.
What's a hydroplane event?
When there's enough water to basically float your car on less than a 16th of an inch of water.
Oh my God! Yes, yeah, of course.
So I went to skid school and I wiped out a few times they had old cars with ball tires, and they teach you how to correct for a skid.
Is there such a thing as
a
skid? And was this through a school system?
No. This was when I was working professionally as a satellite truck operator.
Oh my gosh!
The Central Region something council had a skid school. They had a whole thing where they had the course set up where they could flood it with water and have enough to cause a hydroplane event. And I learned how to steer out of a skid and things like that.
You know, Pete, we've talked about slot. We've talked about skid. 4-letter words beginning with S that they have a school attached to it.
Yeah.
Skid school, slot school, stud school. I don't know. We could go on forever, whatever. But we're not going to because I need to play this song. It's the last time you're going to probably hear it this year, folks. Okay. I've been playing it every day in March. This is the last day in March you're going to be able to hear this song. And I decided I would use the version that, is most current because Antonio Carlos Jobim, you know the story, did the Waters of March. And the Waters of March are the waters that come down the hills that represent life, that has all the wonderful things about life and all the negative things about life or whatever. Maybe not negative or whatever, it's just life, okay? And it's one of my favorite songs of all time. So I've been playing different versions of it when I've been in the studio. I missed last week, of course, and we can talk about that in a bit. But I found this version. Stevie Wonder is sitting next to Daniel Jobim, who is, I think, the great-grandson or the grandson of Antonio Carlos Jobim, who changed music forever in that we were suddenly singing songs from other countries in our country. With Astrud Gilberto and Brazil really had an effect. You know, we can blame it on the bossa nova, as Edie Gourmet said. So, Peter, you're going to come in a little later than the beginning of the song because it goes on. It's a long, long song. So I wanted to make sure. Well,
I need to go to the bathroom, so it might be a long, long song all over again.
Oh, no. Come in at 1:16, and then I'll.
All right.
All right? Great. Here.
Thank you. A stick, a stone, it's the end of the road. It's the rest of a stump, it's a little alone. It's a sliver of glass, it is life, it's the sun. It is night, it is death. It's a trap, it's a gun. The oak when it beats a fox in the brush. The knot in the wood, the song of a thrush. The wood of the wind, a cliff, a fall, a scratch, a lump. It is nothing at all. It's the wind blowing free. It's the end of the slope. It's a beat, it's a void, it's a hunch, it's a hope. And the riverbank knocks the waters of March. It's the end of the stream. The joy in your heart, the foot, the ground, the flesh and the bone. The beat of the road, a slingshot stone. A fish, a flash, a silvery glow. A fight, a bet, the range of a bow. The bed of the well, the end of the line that is made in the face. It's a loss, it's a fight. A spear, a spike, a point, a nail. A drip, a drop, the end of the dale. A truckload of bricks in the soft morning light. The sound of a shot in the dead of the night. A mile, a must, a thrust, a bump. It's a girl, it's a rhyme, it's a code, it's the mumps. The plan of the house, the body in bed, and the car that got struck. It's the mud, it's the mud. Afloat, adrift, a flight, a wind, a hawk, a quail. The promise of spring and the riverbank docks. Waters of March, it's the promise of life, it's the joy in your heart. A snake, a stick, it is John, it is Joe. It's a thought in your hand and a cut in your toe. A point, a grain, a bee, a bite, a blink, a buzzard, a sudden stroke of light, a pin, a needle, a sting, a pain, a snail, a riddle, a wasp, a snail, a pass in the mountains, a horse and a mule. In the distance, the shells, the shells of blue, and the riverbank dogs of the waters of March. It's the promise of life in your heart, in your heart. A stick, a stone, the end of the load, the rest of a stump, a lonesome road, a sliver of glass, a life, the sun, a night, a death, the end of the run, and the riverbank docks of the waters of March. It's the end of our stream, it's the joy in your heart.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday. It is March 25th, the last Tuesday in March of 2025. Don't know where this year is going. Three quarters. We're into a new season, and it's the vernal equinox, isn't it?
You wouldn't know it by the outside.
Oh, my God, and it looks cold today. I'm even wearing underneath all this regalia.
I got two sweatshirts on.
Oh, well, I have my
not in
long
here,
underwear on, believe it or not.
No, not that cold.
Well, I wanted to be hugged. You know how long underwear hugs you in a sense. It feels really good, you know. But hey, Pete, the waters of March remind me that the snowstorms that are going to be out west, are they coming toward us? Or is that?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the weather in a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's been super busy.
Yeah. We had the St. Patrick's Day parade in Holyoke yesterday, folks. It's what the...
It was a fairly nice day, but
Yeah.
it was cold.
It was it cold? Yeah, I wondered.
It was
Did
in
you
the
guys
40s?
cover it? Did you go?
No. Well, actually, I think Brady went over there and shot some stuff. I don't know what he got for video, but
Got it.
he was going over there to shoot some stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch it, unfortunately. I was working on something else, and I said, should I tune it in? And then I thought, well, it will be on. You can probably get it on YouTube, right?
I think Channel 22 did it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's telecast or whatever. The third largest in America or something?
I think it's the third largest and probably the oldest or second oldest in the country.
Yeah. Longest as well?
I don't know about that. I think New York City probably, and then maybe Boston.
I got it.
Those are the two biggies that I could think of off the top of my head.
It turned out I got the whole thing wrong. If you were listening to the last show 2 weeks ago, the last live show 2 weeks ago, I said that I think Michelle Monaghan was going to be the
Bridget Moynihan.
It's Bridget Moynihan. Michelle Monaghan and Bridget Moynihan are two different people.
The actress Bridget Moynihan.
Yeah. But they're both
from Long Meadow.
Yeah, one is from. Both of them are from this area. Michelle Monaghan from White Lotus, and Bridget Moynihan. Is that her? Moynihan. Moynihan was now. Bridget Moynihan is known for movies rather than.
She was in Blue Bloods.
She was Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she's also been in several movies as well.
Yeah. And Westfield honored Tim O'Connor. You know Tim O'Connor by chance? Yeah.
School committee person?
School committee, just the best.
Tim's a good guy.
Yeah, and he was the marshal or whatever
for the Westfield contingent.
I marched several years, of course.
I've done it. I've done it a couple times. A couple of years with Channel 40 when I was working there, and then a couple of years with Westfield in the emergency management department.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I think that Chicago has a great one, and Boston has another one, and I think Holyoke is right up there in the midst of things. So, at any rate, we wish...
By the way, did I show you the sign of spring in my yard?
Okay, you're going to show a sign of spring. Okay, it's got to be a crocus.
No, not that.
Oh, no, okay, so folks...
That's a massive woodpecker.
On the radio, I will tell you if you're listening, okay, there's this big mother of a tree there, and there's this little, like... Empress. It looks like an apostrophe, a red apostrophe, and that's what is that? It's
a woodpecker.
It's a woodpecker.
Red-headed woodpecker.
A pecking on your tree.
He was actually on a going after a dead tree. I think he's living in it.
Peter, is that vertical or horizontal? It's supposed to be vertical. I'm all confused.
He's on the side of the tree.
Oh my God! He's upside down on the side of a tree.
No, he was right side up. I was just taking it zoomed up as much as I could.
Oh,
and I was trying to get a shot, and he was crawling up the tree a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've noticed, speaking of crawling up a tree, we've got somebody walking into the studio here. You're crawling up my tree. Come on over, Denny Akins, Master of the Universe. You're right here. Sit right next to me. Mark Auerbach is coming on.
I'm working on that right now.
Oh, great. Have a seat, friend.
They're all here on time.
Oh, my God.
We just got started a little late.
Yeah. I was here on time. Pete was a little late. Yeah, do you believe that?
On time.
Yo, you were totally on time.
He's a busy man.
Wait a minute. How come you... Okay. Doesn't it look like I'm now suddenly 17 feet taller than you? We are the same...
My chair is very low.
That could be the chair
you're taller than
that could be the broken chair.
I don't know. I look kind of like big compared
Let me adjust
to
the
you
camera, and then I can bring Mark in.
Well, we know that's far from true.
Master of the Universe, Dennis Akins.
Hey, Pete. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Mark's there. He's just being very quiet. He's being respectful.
He's actually here now?
I can't bring him in. Well, he's on the Zoom.
Oh, yeah. Where are we don't even have microphones here for you.
You guys did not set up this morning.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute.
Where's your producer?
Yeah. I don't know where we're going to have to hire a new producer here. No, we can't. No, we can't.
I was a little busy today.
Yeah.
We had a show at right before Bob. We had a show in here taping. Coach Sutter was here.
Rich Sutter was here. What's his program? What's that program?
It's called In the Zone.
In the Zone. And it's about basketball?
Yes. It's about NBA and NCAA basketball.
Oh.
Nice. Well, this is the time, that's for sure.
It's March Madness.
He's coming up on show number 100.
Oh, my God. Hey, that giant head in the next to us right there. That is...
I saw that in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
This is
I think he came down, Mark came down in a big balloon. Well, I think that's the least with your status, Mark. Oh, my goodness.
You know,
good to see you. It's been a long time.
You too, and don't you look wonderful, my friend?
Good to see you.
Yeah, Mark. I I was in this movie called when was it? New York Stories.
Yeah.
And the Woody Allen section, there are 3 sections, okay? And my job was to just look and go, I was sitting in a bar smoking a cigarette. And on TV, they were talking about Woody Allen's mother in the film, who was now a floating head. She was floating over New York City. Doesn't this remind you of that?
It does.
Yeah.
Only because it's such a perfect head.
I do have a torso. See?
There.
Yes.
My God, yes. You're decked out for the winter, and we should be decked out for the winter on March 25th, 2025. When yesterday was, we've had beautiful weather and then cold and.
Well, that's spring in New England. And of course, we know the weather is changing. I've never seen so much wind and high velocity wind, which is damaging. I mean, I can't keep our trash cans from blowing over.
I know.
I mean, every day I'm going out and picking them up and picking the trash up and the recycling.
It's so interesting that those trash cans that go over are filled to the brim and still they go over.
Well, because these winds are stronger than we're used to.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's happening across the country, not just...
Is that right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We've had a mild winter here. When you think about it, it has only snowed a few times. Maybe twice was plowable. Compared to when we were, younger, I should say, like in our 30s.
Last year.
Younger is the word.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it actually was a colder winter. And less snow, certainly, Mark, but it was a very cold winter, and anyone who's heating their homes can attest to the prices that they have to pay to heat their homes.
Oh.
I mean, everything's gone up, of course.
Yeah.
Fuel costs have been outrageous.
I mean, I don't mind the cold. I come home for the winter, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. He comes home for the winter. He
I'm
lives in
like opposite
Delaware
of a
some
snowbird.
of the year.
But I won't walk my dog on those frigid she won't walk. She doesn't like it.
Refusing. Yeah.
Well, me too. I don't want to go out.
Yeah. Hey, we've got lots happening in Westfield area and lots to talk about. And here on the radio, Mark, you were first here only to advertise or to promote. What do you use the word promote or advertise? Market.
Publicize.
He's a publicist.
Yeah. You are a major publicist in our area, aren't you?
Well, I used to be. I'm only working with 2 organizations right now on an ongoing basis because I'd rather be doing theater reporting and theater writing and producing radio, TV, and all that.
Sure.
That's called Mark being semi-retired. He's working harder than ever, particularly given when he's
Danny, I'm not
no semi-retired. I said.
I wouldn't even call it that. I mean, I'm working 40 to 50 hours.
Yes, I know you are.
Yeah. I often wonder when it actually slows down. Well, you're very busy yourself.
As are you.
We're
both fully retired, but I've never been busier in my life.
Yeah.
Somebody tell that to JPEG Luca too.
Oh, isn't that strange? Somebody said to me the other day that they had retired and they really needed to slow down in their retirement, and we were talking about it, and they said, "What? How do you do it?" And I said, "Look, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're pecking at the wrong oak tree, Mr. Woodpecker, or whatever."
Well, I guess if you stay busy in semi or full retirement, you do things more for passion and love than you do for a paycheck. So there's a different attitude that you bring to the game when you're doing something that you really enjoy and you're choosing to do, as opposed to, I got to get up and do this thing I've been doing for 30 years or 40 years.
See, I'm lucky. I love what I do.
So in that way, Mark is not even near retirement, because he's doing the thing he's done for so long and so well.
I thought when I got sick a couple of years ago, I thought maybe it's time to retire. And as I got back on my feet, I thought, I really like what I do work-wise. Why would I retire, and what would I do if I retired? I'd probably be doing the same thing, but volunteering it. So I might as well work as long as I can.
Absolutely. If you like what you do, and physically you can withstand it, and certainly you can. You've done it. But some people who work labor jobs or difficult jobs where they're climbing, utility poles, don't necessarily have a choice at some point because their bodies start to give out.
Yeah.
And,
You know
And
what?
this is what I was doing with Mark this weekend. We were over at the 52 Sumner.
Oh, look at
listening
this.
to some Irish music.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that beautiful. It was a
Yeah,
church that was turned into a venue, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. The group is called Last Night's Fun. They're a Celtic music group.
Nice.
And the woman, Ellen Redmond, is a member of the Springfield Symphony Orchestra and the Springfield Chamber Players. So she brought her group to perform. It was cabaret style. There was a bar service and, tables or theater seating. And it was fun.
Oh, wow.
It looks wonderful.
Yeah.
That was formerly the Episcopal Church, I believe.
Oh, was it Episcopal?
I believe so.
It was the Faith United Methodist
Oh, Methodist.
Church.
Oh, it's
Oh,
up
it's a
the
Methodist
street
church.
from where I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, is that one of your clients? Are you?
Yeah, I'm one of the founders of the Springfield Chamber Players, or MOSO, as it's referred to. And we're actually in rehearsal right now for a Broadway production that opens April 26th. It's called Broadway with Strings Attached. It
Nice.
features Quartetto Moso, which is one of our string quartets, and narration by yours truly, Marty Kluger, and we have 2 vocalists coming, and we're doing a whole series of Broadway music.
Nice.
Oh, wild! And there are no strings attached. So
Broadway.
Well, the reason I wrote the script
right.
for it, and I thought about musicals that had stringed players or instruments as part of their show, like Fiddler on the Roof,
Oh,
or He Plays the Violin
Yep.
from 1776,
sure.
and Sweeney Todd, because the fiddle player gets eaten and turned into a meat pie.
Yes, he
And
does.
we kind of developed it. We brought out some other things. We're doing a medley of songs of musicals that originated either at Goodspeed, Hartford Stage, or Barrington Stage Company, which are
Nice.
major theaters.
Uh-huh.
We're doing something from Cabaret, The Band's Visit. It's the 50th anniversary of A Chorus Line. We're going
Right.
to do some of that.
Nice.
And the music has all been arranged for string quartet with vocalists and narration.
Oh my God, that's
What fun.
so good.
When's it going to be?
Saturday, April 26th
Saturday, April 26th, and that's down at where is that?
at 52 Sumner.
At 52 Sumner, April 26th. Okay.
Have you been in that house, Bob?
No, I haven't. I've
So
seen.
I was over there with Jay when they first started laying it out.
Yeah.
And then I haven't been back since he and Kenny hung light trusses and speaker columns and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. And I said to Jay, Jay, isn't it wonderful not to have to break stuff down at the end of a show? And he goes, oh my God, it's divine. That you don't have to break all the equipment down.
It's right there.
At the end of every show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say, Jay has done a fantastic job there. The chamber players chose 52 Sumner as their resident theater for their season this year. We're doing 6 concerts, and Jay has been absolutely terrific and
Yep.
has turned space, along with his colleague Angela Park, who runs the theater or the event space, and it can turn around on a dime. It could be used for a reception. There have been community theater performances there, tribute bands, blues groups, jazz groups, and that theater is busy probably 3 to 4 nights a week.
How great is
Mark,
that?
what's the cross street just before you get to the former church?
It's on the corner of Sumner Avenue and Fort Pleasant.
Oh, okay.
Sumner
It's right
Avenue
across from.
Court.
It's right across from the old Friendlies
Old
at Sumner
Friendlies,
Avenue
yeah.
Yeah,
School.
the old
Yeah.
Friendlies, which is now a daycare center, and they offer free parking. So it's a great little venue, and they have a bar and catering, and
Wow, easy to
you
get
can
to,
hold a
too.
wedding there, an event,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, right. Easy to get off from the highway right to there. It's terrific. Well, hey, today is the day that I'm going to give you some clues, and you can see if you guess what the day is.
Okay.
A very famous musical icon bought something today.
Bought something?
Bought something today. A very famous musical icon bought something today. You want to add? You want to me to give
I
you?
I know.
What?
Lauren Bacall, while starring in Applause, stopped at the Horn and Hearted Automat and on Broadway and bought a coffee and a piece of apple pie.
That's
Am
it.
I right?
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
No,
you guys
no,
read this
no,
thing.
no, 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 no. All right, I'll give you another clue.
That's not it?
No, that's not it. No, wrong.
Was it Madonna that bought something?
Nope.
Oh, because
No,
40
no,
years ago
no.
today was her movie.
Oh, Seeking Susan,
Suddenly
desperately seeking
Seeking
Susan. Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
I'll give you another clue. Paul Simon,
Oh.
musical icon, bought something today. Paul Simon. Peter,
Kodachrome.
No idea.
you have no idea.
I don't know what
No.
he bought. He
No,
bought a
no.
Garfunkel?
No. No, he didn't buy a Garfunkel. No, all right, I'll give you another clue. What he bought is as popular as the White House. Almost as popular as the White House.
I know.
You are.
Spice Rack for his parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
No. Call Lauren Bacall, will you? She has an answer.
Did he buy something for Central Park?
No. Nope. All right, I'll give you another clue. This is going to give it to you.
You're right.
Memphis.
Oh.
Did he buy Graceland
Did
or
he
something?
What was that, Peter?
Did he buy Graceland or
Who
something?
Who bought Graceland?
Paul Simon.
Paul Simon bought
That's
Graceland.
where he's asking you if it's.
Are you saying that Paul Simon bought Graceland?
I don't know. I'm trying to guess here.
That's wrong.
Well, thank you.
Is,
Yeah.
is Graceland in Memphis?
Memphis.
Yeah. Well, he might have been but I don't
But
see,
who?
I don't see it as equal
Peter
to the White
is
House.
Peter is right, but he's wrong at the same time. He's right. He's half right. Let's give him half credit for that.
Well,
Peter
now-
gets half credit.
Well, you didn't tell him at the time. You're
Yeah,
confusing us.
no. Paul Simon is a clue to who this person is.
What person is?
The person that bought Graceland.
Oh, I thought you said Paul Simon bought something.
No.
Yeah, he did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No.
All right, play
What-
back.
No.
Stone Cold's asking-
Listeners will play it. Listeners know. I
What
did
did
not.
you? What was the original question?
A musical icon bought something on this day.
Bought something.
Elvis bought Graceland.
Elvis Presley bought Graceland.
Oh, but how did Paul Simon figure into that?
don't
Well,
know.
what is the connection between Paul Simon and Graceland?
They dated? I have no idea.
Graceland is one of Paul Simon's biggest albums.
Oh, yes, it is. That's true. Yeah.
And, You Can Call Me Al and all that song comes from Graceland. And, I'm going to Graceland.
You were alive then. Me and
Well, he also did that in South Africa, which is a metaphor for Graceland,
Graceland.
because they have come so far
It's
with apartheid.
It's exactly right.
There's also a television show called Graceland that Broadway star Aaron Tveit had the lead role in. It was
And
wonderful.
was it about Graceland? Graceland?
No, they called it Graceland because all the security agencies in America each had rooms in this house on the ocean, and they were dealing with the Mexican drug cartels, but they all loved Elvis's music, so they dubbed it Graceland.
Wild. It is. It's actually a.
that's interesting.
It's the second visited house in the country next to the White House. Believe it or not.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it of course Priscilla and Lisa still own it, or at least no, Priscilla's dead. Unfortunately, rest her soul.
Daughter owns it.
Daughter, Lisa Marie owns
died.
it.
Phyllis still around.
Yeah, the mom's still around. The daughter died.
Yeah. And so at any there, you hear Graceland in the background? I'm going to Graceland. Yeah, that's a great album.
Oh, it's a
wonderful album. Okay, so here's one last question. I'm taking points today. Okay, who got that half point?
Me.
Thing? Peter got the half point there. Okay, all righty. Now, as far as Graceland is concerned, something really happened, and some famous musical star got arrested outside of Graceland gates. Okay, the Graceland gates.
Just one?
Just one person got arrested, but it's a famous musical star. Was that musical star, okay, Bruce Springsteen, Jerry Lee Lewis, James Brown, or Little Richard?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
It's got to be Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Why Jerry Lee Lewis? Mark, why did you suggest Jerry Lewis?
Because he was a rowdy dude and got himself frequently busted and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Didn't he serve time for marrying a 16-year-old girl or something?
Well, his cousin, 13 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew
Now,
that
when he
was
shot
underage.
somebody in the foot or something, didn't he shoot somebody?
No, I think that was the Vice President of the United States under George Bush.
Oh my God! Please.
Well, he
Oh,
did.
ooh.
Cheney. There was that unfortunate hunting
They
accident.
were a hunting accident.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, he
Spiro
did-
Agnew.
shot somebody.
Was it Spiro Agnew?
No, Spiro Agnew didn't shoot anybody.
Oh, it was Dick Cheney who shot something? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Okay, so what was Jerry Lee Lewis? What was
Peter,
Jerry?
always defending the Republicans.
Yeah.
No, it's
So-
not Cheney.
Mark gets the point. Okay.
Yes, he does.
Okay, there. Now, for another question then, what was Jerry Lee Lewis doing that got him in trouble outside of Graceland?
He was bad-mouthing Elvis's music.
Down with Hound Dog! Down with Hound Dog!
Honestly, I have no idea.
What do you think he was
He
doing?
was parked in a no parking zone.
He was. Oh my God! No, he wasn't. He had something in his hand.
Oh.
Was he smoking pot?
Nope. No.
A gun? Brandishing a
Yeah,
gun?
he had a Derringer in his hand.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's a gun.
That's a serious gun.
Yeah. Who said gun?
Especially if you're parked in a tow zone.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Dillinger in
I
your
mean, a
hand, you'd
Derringer is a gun that women keep in their purse. It's
Well,
not really-
apparently it's a Derringer. You can read about it in the Enquirer. Okay, so he's got this Derringer there. What was he demanding?
To see Elvis?
Peter, you are so smart.
That's a guess.
That's
I
exactly
figure if you
right.
let's put the facts together. I worked in a police department for a decade.
Oh.
If he's standing outside the gate and he's brandishing a gun, yeah. Let's put two and two together. I can be a detective.
Yeah. He was standing outside the gate. He wanted to see Elvis. They didn't want to let him in. And he pulled out his Derringer. He went into his handbag and he pulled out the Derringer and he started screaming and he was and he had the Derringer, so the police came and
Well,
arrested
of course,
him.
as they should have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
Thank
exactly
you
right.
to our police officers.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping
Lord.
Jerry Lee Lewis
can't-
out of Graceland.
You can't brandish a gun and expect to get away with it.
No, he could have hurt somebody
Right.
himself.
Exactly right. So who was the one that said gun? They're going to get a point. Somebody said gun. Was it you, Pete, as well?
Probably. I
Yeah.
don't know. It was
I
either me or
think Peter.
Denny.
No, it wasn't me. I think both of them said it.
No, I don't. You didn't say the word gun doesn't leave your mouth, Mark. You're a pacifist, aren't you?
Well, no, I've been around guns.
Oh my God.
Annie gets your gun.
Oh,
you know.
Annie get Oh man.
That's worth 2 points. Give him 2
No, I'm
points.
going to give. I'm giving.
He gets a point for that one.
Mark gets.
Was
a point
Annie
for
Get
that.
You a Gun the sequel to the original Annie?
Yeah. Oh.
No, it works the other way around.
Yeah.
That was spent after a summer in Chicago.
No, as Annie
right.
grew up and she saw the
That's
world
right.
for what it was. Yeah.
Right. There, and then there's that third sequel called Dead Annie.
Well, hey, listen, in Andy, they did have the song Hard Knock Life. So
Oh, that is true. And the sun
They
will
did.
come up tomorrow.
She was fighting the patriarchy, the male patriarchy.
That's exactly right. Well, look, everyone. Today is somebody's birthday. Let's quickly play a song because this woman demands respect. Who is it? It's her birthday. We have to play
Aretha
something.
Franklin.
Aretha
Queen.
Franklin. Queen of Aretha.
I got that one right.
You got, okay.
Jeez.
Peter,
Finally, I get
wait a minute.
We'll keep score for the entire show.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. We're keeping score for the entire. One for Dennis gets that. Okay.
Finally.
All right. So
Remember, the winner gets a trip to Ludlow.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Pierogies on top of everything else. All right. So I'm going to play a song from one of her earlier albums. It's actually a really appropriate song. It's called A Change. And so here we go. This is Aretha Franklin, very early in her career. Really good.
I'm looking for a love maker. I ain't looking for no heartbreaker. It ain't no fooling around with this. Ain't no fooling around with that. You've been playing the scene long enough to know just where it's at. Some people call me selfish because I want you to myself. But it better be a freezing day in July. If I catch you with someone else, I wanna see a change, baby. I wanna see a change right away. I wanna see a change in you, baby. Wanna see a change in you today. If you don't, this girl is gonna make you pay. If you don't, this girl is gonna make you pay. I wanna see a big change in you, baby. 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 I hope you've been preaching about what you know, 'cause they say you gotta reap what you sow. And you say you know that I'm for you when you had a choice of quite a few. Well, you just picked out what you wanted, and it was me you said you liked. And I must admit you got good taste, so bring it over right. I wanna see a change in you, baby. Wanna see a change in you today. I wanna see a change in you, baby. Wanna see a change in you today. If you don't, this girl is gonna make you pay. I wanna see a big change in you, baby. 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 I'm looking for a love maker. Can't use no heartbreakers. I wanna see a big change in you, baby. A big change in you, baby. A big change in you, baby. A big change. I wanna see a big change in you, baby. A big change in you, baby.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, you know, there are some folks that really look forward to when we have Mark and Denny Akins together on my show. Yeah. There are two people in Southwick that really love that. I don't know. Yeah.
I've known Mark almost as long as I've known you.
Yeah, we've gone.
I mean, we were kids together running around on the Symphony Marketing Committee and stuff.
Yeah.
And you.
Springfield, I mean, it's been a long time.
A long ride.
Long ride. We're Cultural Affairs Office. I was in the, we were both in the Cultural Affairs Office.
Yes,
so
we
there.
were. Yes,
I
we
forgot that you were there. No, I didn't.
And after you left and I stayed for 20 more years, I forgot
That's
you
right.
were there.
Yeah, you did forget it. No. We knew what you knew.
Yeah, sorry, no, kidding.
But Mark developed a life on the radio here that has really benefited folks in the area in so many ways. You have some programming on the show, including your On the Mark series, which highlights, theater folks? And
a little of everything.
I have 3 shows. One is Arts Beat, which covers theater, music, dance, and all of that. On the Mark covers people doing interesting things. Sometimes it's arts, but mostly it's not. Um, we just finished recording 3 shows live at the Westfield River Elementary School with student ensembles.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Right across the street, the brand new school that
Yeah, the brand new
combines all
school.
these elementaries together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the programming there is
2
different.
elementary
And then
Yeah,
the
was it?
3rd series is called Survivor Stories, and season 2 of that launches on Friday, April 4th at 7 o'clock, and it's the stories of people
7 o'clock in the morning or at night?
In the morning.
In the morning. Okay,
But
got
you
it.
don't have to watch and listen then. They're all archived on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can watch and listen whenever you want.
Sure.
But these are stories of people who have faced unbelievable odds and have been able to get beyond it, survive, and move on with their lives. The first season was primarily people who were dealing with illness or accidents, physical things, who got back on their feet. This one is different. The series opens with a Holocaust survivor, Irene Butter, who was a contemporary of Anne Frank's. And they were in the same concentration camp, Bergen-Belsen. And then the second one is the world-class violinist Evgeny Kutek, whose family was Jewish in Belarus, and they were evacuated from Minsk and brought to the United States by the Jewish Federation in Pittsfield, and he was raised in Pittsfield. So it's a story of immigrants that come here. I've got 2 people from the Tunnel to Tower Foundation, which was formed after 9/11 to help families of first responders who were killed in action. One is a program guy there who works to find housing for homeless vets, and the other was a police officer, young woman with 2 small kids. Her husband was a police officer, and he was killed in a shootout trying to apprehend a criminal. So she has to raise 2 young kids by herself and was helped by this foundation. So the stories are really different and unique. And it starts April 4th, and it's Fridays at 7 a.m.
Oh my God! Listen, Mark, isn't it? I mean, like that's the kind of programming that really helps people in its own way. I just
Tunnel to Tower is very well known.
What Tunnel to
outside
Tower?
this area?
Yeah.
We do the big Rehoboth Beach Santa Crawl every
yeah.
year in Rehoboth Beach, and this year, in addition to Toys for Tots, which has always been the main main recipient of the funds. In addition to all they raised for like 15, 20,000 Toys for Tots, they raised $30,000 cash for Tunnel to Towers.
And Tunnel to Towers was started by a brother of one of the fallen firefighters.
Yes.
In the World Trade Center, and their charity, their ratio of dollars in to dollars out is one of the best in the country.
Well, that would make sense. Because so many people want to help.
And they're also, I mean, they're doing. I think they buying. We found out, and I think I've seen an ad for this. They bought several abandoned or soon to be abandoned hotels, and have revamped them to make efficiency apartments.
They've done that in New York. They've done that in New York.
Yeah.
And there's another foundation. We're taping them this week. It's called the Eric Marsh Foundation. It was founded by the widow of a firefighter who was killed in the line of duty. And they provide support specifically to firefighters. And I've talked with the woman a couple of times, and it was her husband that was killed. And to get through it, she started this foundation to help other spouses of firefighters. And so some of the programs in the 3rd season are really fascinating.
Oh,
and
man, yeah.
Second season.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do a 3rd maybe next year.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so needed, Mark. And I had a rough week this past week and a half. As most, if you follow me on Instagram, because overdosed last week.
You did.
I think over medicated would be
over
a better
medicated.
word
Well,
to use.
Is it just a
I
straight
thought I'd get
mistake?
everyone to stop and go,
No, I
whatever.
mean, overdose has the connotations of
It was
intentionality.
intentional. Yeah, I think you just.
Oh, I
did you
wasn't.
just-
No.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, it was
over
called
medicated.
accidental.
I took I don't know. I have so much on my plate, as you all know. Okay, so I took my medications at night, which were 4 different medications. I take 2 for my heart, and then 1 for my anxiety, and 1 for my what's the other one?
For your betrothed.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's for sagging prostate or something. I don't know what the hell it is.
Better living through chemistry.
Okay. So after I took them, I said, wait a minute, I think I took these before. Because I had this method of,
Oh,
I
after you
would
took it the second time, you thought that.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know what happens to
second
me
time.
is if I don't like I take them at the same time in the same place every day, and then the only thing I think of is if I forgot. My doctor told me you can go one day, maybe 2 without taking it. So if you think you forgot and you're rather than double up, just don't take it.
Right.
Well, that's right. And I knew that law, but unfortunately, diltiazem, which is a pill that maybe some of folks out there take, it replaces the atenolol, which is about atrial fibrillation. You know, there are a lot of people who have atrial
Atenolol,
fib.
yeah, I take that.
Yeah. Okay, so atenolol was drying my mouth out, which was then causing cavities. So my dentist prescribed or talked to my cardiologist, of all people, and they prescribed diltiazem, which doesn't dry the mouth out, Mark. Well, what it does if you take 2 of them, it lowers your blood pressure so significantly that it's dangerous.
Bob, you became a pile of goo.
Oh my gosh. It was 5 a.m. in the morning. I ended up on the bathroom floor. I knew I was going to faint. So
At
I
least you
sat
didn't
in a
hit your
chair.
head,
Yeah. Then I sat I was about, my constitutional, I going into
TMI.
pee. Okay, yeah. Well, okay. So I
Regardless,
had to go to the bathroom.
You were sitting.
I was sitting on the
Period.
toilet, and
You
then
were
I said, I got to sit on the floor. I got to be closer to the floor because I'm going to faint. I fainted. James found me, took me to the hospital. Suddenly they've got things on me in case I'm going to have, those paddles that they're going to do like you see when you jump up. What do you call those things?
Defibrillators.
Defibrillators and all that sort of stuff. They kept me overnight.
Don't you watch any television?
No, I know. I
love when we fill in the blanks for Bob.
Get the defibrillators.
Okay. So at any rate, Mark, I stayed overnight, and I was trying to keep it quiet. They were taking me to my room and they asked me if I wanted to go into a wheelchair or stay in the bed. And the bed had these sides so that I didn't fall out of them. So I snuck down below because I didn't, I don't want to be on a parade. I don't like that parade stuff where you're coming out. I don't know. Just me, my own vanity, my own terrible vanity. So I get to there, and then suddenly, a couple of people recognize me from the not for the stuff they do in town. So then the secret was out, and then Maria Perez came from East Mountain Country Club. All these people who were in the hospital. So to make a very long story short, I am now out. I'm trying to recognize that I'm 80 years old, or going to be 80. I have a lot on my plate. Stress is not something that I need. How do you live with the idea? I've got a halter. I've got one of these little halters right here under this beautiful thing I'm wearing. There's a halter. I can press the button. They're doing a thing for me to try to see where my heart is for the 2 weeks and all that business. But I thought of you, Mark, because I was thinking that how does somebody survive, or how does somebody live with always that threat? We all are going to die. We all know that. And as you get older, that is there. But if you have something happen to you that's traumatic, or you're ill in some way, how do you survive? And I thought to myself, this is so minor in a way. And I did a thing on it saying that Mark Twain thoughts of my death were, exaggerated, greatly exaggerated. That really, that was, I was not saying that people were saying I was dead, but I went into a meeting this morning that I thought I had that I didn't have, and Peter Miller says to me,
Oh, you're
God,
still here?
Huh?
Oh, you're still here?
Yeah. He said somebody saw the ambulance in my driveway, and I was going to call, but I was afraid, et cetera, et cetera. The ambulance was there at 5 a.m. in the morning. So, in a small town, word sort of spreads fast. But no one was saying that I was dead. They were all saying something has happened to Bob or whatever. Okay, so I'll stop talking, Mark, but that fits right into that. And I don't have a larger story to tell about that. But I as somebody who survives and surviving and thriving, I need to be taught how to do that without stress or
that's
anxiety.
The trick, Bob. That's the trick.
I mean, I can only speak from my own experience when I went through the heart surgery and the kidney failure and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
And I learned to let my friends take over for me, either in the workplace, and I was able to let that go, or in my own life.
Right.
My life at the time had so many issues going on that I really don't want to talk about.
Right.
But
Sure.
I needed somebody to help out and take control, and I had a rough time admitting that I was in trouble. And so in my case, having the help of a couple of friends who focused me and stood by my side getting through it made a big difference. And when I was strong enough to recover, I realized that there are a lot of things in life we have no control over, so I don't stress about them. And the things that really stress me out, either the work situations or the people, I get rid of it. So there were a couple of clients I had that I really didn't want to do their work anymore. So I resigned the accounts or passed it on to someone else. And if there's somebody, a human being that I don't care for, I avoid them. And I just try to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
It's almost like a purification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your life purer.
Yeah.
And I think that's great
I
advice.
like in my life, I really love music, and theater. So I try to surround myself with those things rather than going home at night after work and stressing about work deadlines and projects.
Relationships, work relationships, the politics, all of that sort of stuff,
Yeah, I mean that it's not important, in my mind. And it was difficult. I mean, I had to revamp my personal life. There was a relationship that was toxic that I had to end. I had to kind of readjust, and I have no regrets about doing it, because when I was lying flat on my back, I thought I'm calling hospice because that my chances of survival are 20 to 25%. And I thought, well, I can't do this. But it took somebody else to come who was a good friend, to say to me, look, you don't have to do it by yourself. I'm going to help you.
Yep.
And he did.
Yeah.
And look how making those hard decisions to cut some people back from your life and cut a couple of accounts that you probably didn't want anyway. Look how well you've done since then, getting ready for what you have to still do. I mean, you've made it a learning experience.
Yeah. It's like being on Facebook and somebody you don't like, somebody you like their friends, but all of a sudden they're posting this political garbage you don't agree with. Unfriend them.
Right.
It's that simple.
Right. You don't have to look. I've actually unfriended friends, former friends, because they didn't like what I was putting, and they didn't have the courage to unfriend me. So I said, that's it. I'm not going to make their life more miserable by stating the things that I believe in.
Yeah.
So I said, I unfriended them, and they got very upset with me. And I said, well, You called me in the middle of the night angry, and because you couldn't stand seeing my post, I helped you out of that problem.
Oh my gosh. I think that conversation and trying to find that middle line or whatever is important. But at the same time, if it, I'm really limiting my news intake. I'm getting the news, but I'm not wallowing in it. And I think that's helpful.
It's a step.
You're not alone. I mean, so many people, as I'm a journalist by trade, and so many people said to me, I've stopped listening to news on TV or on the
regardless
radio.
of whatever side.
Yep.
Whatever side you're on.
Yeah,
and
doesn't
they
matter.
may go and read they may watch the PBS NewsHour just to see what the top stories
Yeah,
are.
the frame.
Or they may go to the New York Times or the Washington Post and just read the headlines. But they don't get involved in it. The worst place to hear about politics is on social media, because a lot of it is uninformed and vitriolic at best. And it's a lot easier to go on with your life if you tune it out. On the other hand, you have to be informed to a degree, because some of the things that are happening could personally impact you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's exactly right.
It's a balance.
Yeah. And guess who was the angel at my door at, 6 o'clock in the morning? This guy sitting next to me here, Dennis Akins, visited me in the hospital. And James said, Dennis is here and Joanne are here to see you. And I'm thinking, holy mother God, I just fainted. And,
Well, if the truth be told, we
yeah.
weren't there to see you.
Oh, you weren't.
We were there to see James, because poor James, who had an experience
similar
in
to-
losing his former partner of 17 years, was traumatized seeing Bob in this state that he somehow equated to a seizure, which is how
James equated it to it.
Yes, not you. Yeah. And so no, of course we were there to see you, but we all, just as equally as important, we were there to see Bob's husband.
And in Survivor Stories, I bet you talk about the people beside the survivors who are also surviving in a way with new, right? Am I right there?
Yeah, there are a couple of people that have been caregivers to somebody. Well, there's one that's coming up, a really fabulous woman named Kim McDowell, who I worked with me at WFCR probably 20 years ago or more.
Right.
She was young when she was at WFCR. She was young, married to a really great guy, and they had a toddler. And her husband got stomach cancer, and she was his caregiver, and he died. And overnight, she's a young single mother and has to move on. And she talked in the thing about caregiving and how, now she's lost her parents subsequent to this.
Yeah.
And his parents are her family, and how she managed to, take care of him, take care of the daughter and everything else. It's very moving. It's a real caregiver story.
Wild. Well, I applaud you and I love you, and I thank you for doing this for all of us.
Absolutely.
And being honest and forthright and transparent about where you are on your own journey, and helping folks to understand that they're not alone. Tell us when Survivor Stories is, because you could see season 1, season 2, and then we're going to play a song, and then we're coming back with Broadway Revisited.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Season 1 and Season 2 are archived on YouTube under WSKB Community Radio. You can hear them starting April 4th at 7 a.m. on Westfield Community Programming, 89.5 FM WSKB, Agawam Media, or Southwood Community Television.
What a pro.
Yeah, he's a real pro.
What a pro.
He really is. He prepares. He's right there. It's not
He's
like
been doing it
flying
since
by
he
the
was
seat of
9
my
years
pants.
old.
Oh yeah. Hey everybody. So look, I'm going to play a. I love this guy Emmett Cohen, and Emmett's Place is incredible, and he introduced me to a incredible jazz singer who's going to sing a song from Kismet, which is one of my favorite shows, and it's called Baubles, Bangles, and Bees. Now, let me see if I can pronounce the woman. Peter, you've got that? geared up there.
Yeah.
It's just it's not the full song because because it's a jazz song. It goes on for 6 minutes. So now this is a shortened version of this. But this Lucy, what's her name? Lucy, where is it, Peter? I'm looking. Oh, Lucy Yagazarian. She is an immigrant from the Ukraine who is now a citizen of the United States. She came here many, many years ago. She's in her 30s or 40s. Incredible jazz singer. But this song it's an interesting song because Kismet is taken from music by Borodin.
Bob, let me interrupt.
Yeah.
The music from Kismet comes from a Russian composer, Alexander Borodin.
Right.
And the Springfield Chamber Players Clarinet Quintet played the Borodin suite, from which Baubles, Bangles, and Beads, This Is My Beloved,
and
Strangers
in Paradise.
From. Yeah, they played it at the Westfield Athenaeum, where we have a series. And Thursday night, at the Athenaeum, we're performing. Quartetto Mosso is introducing a brand new program. So,
oh my gosh, this Thursday, March
27th at 7:00, and you get tickets at the door.
Oh, fabulous! Look at everything's connected. So, Peter, you're going to come in at a certain time. We're going to hear Lucy Yagazarian. Her name is spelled very well. It begins with a Y, A-Y-E-G-H. So if you go to Lucy Y-E-G-H on YouTube, I'm sure it will come up. Incredible. Here's Bubbles, Bangles, and Beads. I'll be right back. See you soon.
Bangles and beads.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday. It is March 25th, where you are, 2025. It might not be as cloudy as it is today, which is yesterday. This is yesterday, but you are here today. I can't figure this out.
Back to the future.
Back to the future. That's what we should call this show, Back to the Future.
Oh, no, we don't need that, Bob.
No. It's already been taken anyway. All right.
It's probably copyrighted.
Hey, I have a trivia question.
Okay, gotcha.
Is that okay?
Of course.
Because I know we're going to segue into theater.
Yeah.
So this is for my two brain trusts on theater, Mark and Bob.
Mm-hmm.
All right. April 4th, there's a new musical opening in London,
Okay.
which is due to come to the American shores at Broadway in the next year or two. And it's the musical, the only musical based on an X-rated American film. What is it?
X-rated. Well, immediately I think Deep Throat.
Deep Throat, the musical? It is not. Of course, your mind would go there. Mark, any guesses?
Wait a minute.
I'm clueless.
I'll give you. I'll give the answer to you by giving you another trivia fact. The X-rated movie that it's based on was the only X-rated movie that ever won Academy Award for Best Picture in America.
An X-rated that
Midnight Cowboy.
Who said that?
I did. Mark.
Yes, it is. It's the musical Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy.
Yep. Just to start our segue.
Oh my God!
Which was a wonderful, incredible movie.
I watched it a few months ago, and I don't think it's X-rated anymore because it's
not.
Tame.
Well, of course it's not.
Oh, it's pretty tame, yeah. You think
well, things
about it.
change over time, but don't forget, there's a lot that goes on in the movie that at the time it was released was never seen on screen before.
Sure.
You know, not only just his profession of a male gigolo, but the religious man that tried to pull him into his room and how he would make money when he had none by going into theaters with younger men.
Yeah, and Sylvia Miles, the
Miles,
older woman, the cougar or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, they're doing a musical version. Oh,
I don't even know if we have X-rated anymore. To be honest with you,
I think there are
all
X-rated
changed.
movies.
I think it's all changed to something else. I think it's all based on age groups. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we have an X-ray. Maybe the Catholic Church does because they used to do that.
Right.
But I don't think that's true. The film industry does not, I don't believe, have an X-ray.
It's now NC-17.
Well, that's one of the ratings.
Oh,
that's right.
No, this is the most MPAA film rating system uses 5 ratings: G, PG, PG-13, R, and NC-17.
Right, which is far cry from X.
Wow.
Where you would not be allowed.
NC-17 is defined as no one under 17 and under admitted clearly adult content not suitable for children under 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing to me. So Midnight Cowboy will be a movie. It's interesting, and I know Mark
has a Broadway musical.
A Broadway musical. The Devil Wears Prada is coming over.
It's opened already.
Yeah, got pretty lousy reviews from what I remember in London, or maybe mixed.
That did not do very well in London.
Yeah, Elton John wrote the lyrics and music.
Some shows come from London to New York, and they just don't make it in the translation. Like the musical about Tammy Faye Baker was a hit in London, and it came here and it bombed in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And what's interesting now is Operation Mincemeat just opened on Broadway.
Right.
And it won the Olivier Award
Remember?
for Best Musical in London. And
That's a movie, isn't it? Operation Mincemeat?
I think it was. It was
yeah.
based on a real life spy. It was like they created this false thing to fool the Nazis. And that's what the Operation Mincemeat is about. But they changed a lot of the dialogue to fit the New York audience.
Oh.
So, references that the British audiences would get, but the New York audiences wouldn't.
Aha.
And it seems so far to be doing pretty well.
It's got okay buzz
I
on
don't
it?
think the reviews are out yet.
It opened over the weekend. I haven't read the reviews yet.
Right.
But
Yeah. It's a small cast paying lots of characters, right?
Yeah, it's 5 or 6 people playing
run.
85 characters.
Oh, my gosh. Operation Mincemeat.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
We also have, what's her name? Snooki from...
Snooki?
Yeah.
No.
Snook. What's her last name? Yeah, Sarah Snook.
I thought you were talking about from
Jersey Shore?
No,
Jersey
no.
Shore.
No,
Snooki.
Sarah Snook, who was one of the stars of... with Kieran Culkin.
Not Severance. What's the other one?
Yeah, the other one. Secession.
Secession.
Yeah, she's got a one-woman show on Broadway now, The Picture of Dorian Gray, where she plays she plays 26 characters.
Holy cow.
My God. It's a one woman. And that got, I think she won.
Good reviews.
Good review.
She
And,
got-
and
she got an
Olivier over
Award
there.
for it, yes.
It's interesting when you watch filmed musicals from England, and they oftentimes place their music, and it's worth going to YouTube to see the BAFTAs or what's the equivalent, the Olivier Awards, because they really spend time showing bits and pieces of musicals there. The version of Oliver that's now on in London. Oh my God! It's so exciting. It makes it come alive in its own way. Go online for that. But both of you saw something that is a hit and not a hit, called Maybe Happy Endings. Is that right? Maybe Happy. Talk about both of them. You both saw this. Talk about it.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It stars Darren Criss. It's a Korean musical, actually, that had its American premiere in Atlanta at the Alliance Theater, and it was Americanized in many ways, but it's basically a 2-character musical. There are a couple of other people in it.
Right.
The score is so listenable. You can listen to the score over and over again. And Darren Criss and his co-star Helen Shen are absolutely delightful. It's the story of 2 robots, basically, that are obsolete. And their owners have kind of put them in the drawer and gotten newer things. And they meet while their battery shelf life is dwindling down. And I had no idea what it was when I went to see it, and I loved it.
Where did you see it, Mark?
I saw it on Broadway.
Yeah.
I went in over New Year's with a friend, and I took him to one show I wanted to see, and this was the show he wanted to see because he was a Darren Criss fan.
Oh, sure.
And I loved it.
I just saw it last week, and everything Mark said in spades is true. It blew me away, and it was our second show of the day.
Right.
So we just grabbed something that we could get reasonable tickets for, and we ended up with 7th-row tickets for a good price. But it was, my favorite.
Is it a 2-character? Only 2 characters?
No. There's other people in it, but not many.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But really, it's a 2-person. What Mark said is right. It's really focused on those 2 people, and
Or 2 robots. They're not. Are they people? Well, I guess they act like people.
They're humanoid robots.
Yeah.
And both of them, but one is an older model. Darren Criss's character is an older model versus her, which is a newer model. So his motions are more robotic through the entire show than hers because she's a more modern version. And they have these in this society, they have a place where they can put these robots that are no longer needed because they have developed great relationships with humans in some cases. So they don't want to say they're just going to shut them off and put them in a pile. So they have this like apartment house where they put all these robots who are slowly decaying, sometimes under false pretenses. Like the male robot here, Darren Criss's character, lived every single day identically the same. And the reason he could do this so easily is because he knew that James was going to come back and get him. That's what James told him.
Oh, God,
and the
my
girl
heart is
lived
breaking.
across the hall from him.
Yeah.
Kind of had been with humans who she saw hurt each other so much through failed love affairs and things, that she knew that humans really couldn't be totally trusted to tell the truth all the time. So she insisted that she try to get him back to James so that he could see. And of course, when they went back, I won't tell you too much more, but James aged and died.
Oh my
But
God.
the person that answered the door, this character thought it was his owner. It was his son, who hated this robot because the father left this boy when he was 3 years old.
Oh my God, you're telling, I don't
It's
know.
a one. No, there's so much.
Yeah.
You're telling too much.
Oh, no,
But
there's
it's
a lot more in it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful musical, and I have a feeling it's going to do very well when the Tony Awards.
I
come
hope
around.
so, Mark.
But there's another musical that it's in previews right now, and I just interviewed for ArtsBeat one of the people in it. It's from Westfield, Josh Burridge. It's called Boop the Musical.
Well,
and
guess
I'm going
what?
to see it in 4 weeks.
Guess who saw it?
Mark knows. Mark knows I saw it.
This guy saw it.
Yeah, he knows.
Boop the musical, everyone.
How is it, Denny?
You know, I think it was not last year. Last year, The Outsiders won Best Musical. The year before, Kimberly Akimbo won Best Musical over one of the musicals I thought was one of the best things I've seen in years, and that was Some Like It Hot.
Yeah.
And that's coming to Hartford next.
Yes, I saw that, Mark. Yeah. So it had everything in it, and I saw Kimberly Akimbo, and I thought it was not only dreadful musically, one or two good performances only, but a storyline that was so bad to influence young people in.
Yeah.
You know, kids stealing Social Security checks from elderly people to pay for their new school uniform.
Well, that ought to go over quickly.
The audience
now.
loved it. They loved
Really?
it. And Mike, Theater Companion, and I watched this in disbelief.
Yeah.
I go, wow, are we old and out of it?
Yeah.
But I didn't even care for the music, and I thought it.
So Some Like It Hot wins. Now, what's the connection with Boop?
Well, like Some Like It Hot, Boop was everything you want to see in a big, colorful, splashy, tap dancing musical. I mean, it was a wonderful story, presented incredibly well. And what they did with the early part of the show was when she was just a cartoon character, and everything was in that 1950s grays because there wasn't color TV. So the entire stage and costumes and everything, she was just acting out her roles that she did for her shorts, what they call shorts back then. And then she was so tired.
Betty Boop. It's a Betty Boop.
Beep, beep. Yeah.
Betty Boop cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 1940s.
Well, I think even earlier. I think that they might have even been.
She was a
20s to
flapper.
30s.
She was a
flapper. Yeah.
right,
So.
right.
The
So it
roaring
might have been 30.
20s.
I think it was 20s, and then it went into post-depression. It lasted that long.
Got it. Well, when I was
and
young,
it was
in
a
the
cartoon
40s,
character.
it was definitely there.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
watched it all the time. Betty Boop. But I never gave much thought to the fact that she was sort of, there was romance involved and all of that
Well,
stuff.
most of her romance was not romance. It was lecherous men chasing her around desks, and what her solution always was to grab a table lamp and hit him over the head with it. It's like a Three Stooges
Remember that,
version.
ladies out there.
So
Remember.
when she gets transported by choice because she wants a vacation, because everybody in that world knows her so well.
Right.
Her grandfather, who's a character in the cartoon, is an inventor, and he creates this machine that allows her to go to a different time, different reality, and she goes to 2025.
Oh.
And everything, it's the first time she's ever seen color.
Uh-huh.
And everything.
It's the first act in black and white, and then
It's
second
not
in color.
split like that because most of it takes place in the present time. So
Got
the
it.
first maybe quarter of a show is not black and white. It's grays and sepias.
Let's ask Mark. The Keith Burridge. I know there are two twins.
Josh Burridge.
Josh Burridge is a dancer singer.
Yeah, and the other brother, Nick, is in Moulin Rouge.
Right.
So your Josh Burridge did he say about the show and all of that? Because he's younger, I don't know whether young people know who Betty Boop is. And when David Foster, the composer, talked about it, he's married to Catherine McPhee, you know. He'd been working on it for years. I thought, oh, I don't know whether this is, you know, we've had Annie cartoon and all that. I don't know. And so I'm wondering, did Josh... What is Josh's take on it?
When we talked, I had both of the brothers on at the same time, and they were Boop was in rehearsal. The previews didn't start at that point. Josh had been in Chicago when it did its pre-Broadway tryout, and they did some changes to it from Chicago to New York.
Right, as they're wanting.
They added a couple of songs and things. He thinks he knew who Betty Boop was. Because kids watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, sure.
And he thinks that it has great potential. And he's so excited about being in it. It's not his first Broadway show, but it has a lot going for it. The star of it, Jasmine Amy Rogers, is going to be a breakout performance. Her leading man is a star from the Australian theater who finished a run there in Aladdin, and Faith Prince, who got a Tony Award for Guys and Dolls, in it.
Yeah, she was wonderful.
Oh my God! And it's everything's connected, because Faith Prince was in Disaster, which is opening this Friday night at Westfield Theater Group. Disaster the musical, and so she was in the original Disaster, and she's been in tons of shows. Won a Tony for Guys and Dolls.
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
Guys and Dolls, Current Affair. She was in Nick and Nora. I mean, she's really had a great career.
Yeah.
I also think that a lot of women, both women and young women, know who Betty Boop is, because there's been lines of clothes that are very popular with Betty's image on it for years.
Oh, really?
Mostly because it's so colorful.
She looks a little like Hello Kitty, to tell you the truth. Well, Betty and Hello Kitty kind of look alike.
Well, they're not the same, clearly, but
but really different.
And I think Betty Boop's always had a reputation of always trying to do what's right and be courageous in who you are.
Yeah.
And that's certainly what they play up in this, because even in 25, she meets a young girl who wants to be her. And part of the show is she tries to convince this girl, don't be me, be you.
Wow.
And it's some beautiful music and some really wonderful dancing.
So these are two shows if folks are going to New York to consider. And they're probably, it's maybe Happy Endings and Betty Boop. Both of them you probably get good tickets for, because the buzz is not totally out there.
Well, Boop, because it's still in preview.
Okay, Boop, because
Boop is still in preview.
April 5th, I believe. And maybe Happy Ending is doing quite well, actually.
It is doing quite well.
I think they extended it just recently for another 3 months or so.
No. Both of them open as long-run shows.
So okay.
Engagement, but there's a couple of other shows that are in New York that are up and coming.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, why don't we take a break? I'm going to play a song from the Maybe Happy Endings, which sort of indicates that what I loved about this is when you hear it, you hear the dialogue, and then they laugh together as robots. And it's called and it takes place on a rainy day. I thought it was a really good thing. It's The Rainy Day We Met. Do you remember that song? It's so my God, it's so sweet. Listen to this, everybody. This is Darren Criss and Helen Shen from
Maybe
Happy Endings.
It's a question mark.
Where did we meet?
On the street?
Yes. It was a rainy day. You forgot your umbrella, so you ran under mine.
I initiated this.
The rain made us feel melancholy, but also romantic, as we walked on the rainy streets in
Paris.
New York set the perfect mood on the day we met.
Unbelievable.
I know. The patter of rain and somewhere a jazz quartet.
They were playing in the rain?
They were inside.
So we were inside.
We were outside. My umbrella could handle two. I even kept your shoulder dry. And since we both were shy, we barely spoke at all.
Did you get this from a movie?
You wore a bright red raincoat, that magic.
No way would I choose red for a raincoat.
Your beautiful red fur hat took my breath away.
And now you're just describing Santa.
The crowded and noisy streets were silent except our beating hearts. It's all those quiet parts you later can't forget. One little rainy day, the rainy day we met. Your turn.
You stared at your feet, too nervous to say one word.
Well, what could I have said in that situation?
Our beautiful silence started to feel absurd.
But I did offer you the umbrella.
You just said it was my turn. So then, in a breathless rush, we both started talking awkwardly.
So where are you? How long have you? Why don't you go?
We laughed so hard that we forgot our socks were wet.
All on a rainy day, the rainy day we met. That old-timey band, when I first held your hand, and we danced in the subway.
The buses we missed on the first night we kissed on that street in Paris.
New York,
Paris.
New York.
Oh
The
my God.
moment our game demanded a name, and love's what we called it.
The morning we tried waking up side by side and knew it was meant to be.
It seemed to me the crowded and noisy world was silent except our beating hearts. It's all those quiet parts you later can't forget. Thanks to one rainy day, the rainy day we met. Anyway, that's how we met.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donuts shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is March 25th, 2025, where you are. My name is Bob Plass, and I am here with Denny Akins, Master of the Universe, and critic extraordinaire, Mark Auerbach, and Pete Coles is the kitten on the keys there up above me. I just want to do a quick ad for Westfield on Weekends. We've got a fabulous quilt show that you've got to see. The quilts of Ed Janetta Miller. Unbelievable until April 5th.
By the way, that interview's up, I believe. Right?
Oh my gosh!
I think I posted it.
Oh my gosh, we've got to see it. We did a special, a WOW special
Hour and a half
interview.
special.
It's an hour and a half, and it really, when you meet this wonderful woman, didn't you find her just charming, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, just so filled with stories, et cetera. How do they find that, Pete, online? And what's it called? Is it under Wow It's Tuesday?
Yeah, I think I posted it under the WSKB Community Radio because it's a WOW. You pitched it as a WOW It's Tuesday special.
A Wow It's Tuesday special. And it's my discussion with Ed Janetta Miller, who did a wonderful workshop this past weekend. And this coming Saturday afternoon, we're having jazz for Ed Janetta. Ed Janetta's life is filled with jazz stories because she was friends with Jackie McLean and Archie Shepp, and it's been really the background, the soundtrack of her life in many ways. And so we've got Olu. I always pronounce it wrong, so let's see if I can. Oluwakin and Brophy. Jazz duo are doing at I think it's 2:00 this Saturday. Go to westfieldonweekends.com. But you got to come down and see these thousands of dollars worth of quilts. She's hung all over the world in wonderful museums and has a really wonderful life journey story to tell. Journey stories. The quilts of Janetta Miller. She's an octogenarian, and she's so known throughout the country. It's been in one of our more popular shows. And we have...
So, Bob, if you go up to the Wow It's Tuesday part of WSKB Community Radio on YouTube, it is listed up there as a special.
Ah, good. Well, we will do that. And Peter, thank you for that. We have lots of things happening at Westfield on weekends. There's a spring bulb show coming up. We've got right after that, we're taking pictures. If you know of anybody who's 90 or 95 years old or 105, text at Westfield on weekends, and we may put them into our photography exhibit, which is Journey Stories, The Essence of Aging, which opens in May and goes through June. So at any rate, hey, Mark, you were talking about other shows that we should talk about. What on Broadway appeals to you right now?
Well, there are a couple of things. One is the musical version of the TV series Smash.
Oh.
Which just opened, or it's in previews. Audra McDonald in Gypsy. And one of the funniest plays I've ever seen is a comedy called Oh, Mary.
Mary.
Which started off Broadway. It's written by Cole Escola, who played Mary Todd Lincoln in the original. Various actors have played it subsequent. It's the story of Mary Todd Lincoln, who, when she finds out that Abe is gay, decides she wants to be a cabaret star in New York. It is totally trashy, hysterically funny, and is Broadway's biggest comedy hit in years.
Oh, sure.
It's got great reviews, and in fact, it's not only Mary Todd Lincoln is not only played by a man, because I saw a woman went into it recently.
That's right.
And it played Mary Todd. So I think that the role is written in such a way that it could be cast in every way, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cole Escola is coming back into it in a couple of weeks, and he's going to be there for about 6 weeks. So the ticket prices, when he's back in it, are through the roof.
Oh, wow.
Because he was so popular.
And here's the thing. Right now, the tourist season is starting to ramp up in New York. But the Tony Awards will be announced at the end of April. And from the end of April until June 11th, on the Tony Awards, it's hard to get tickets. So go now.
Right. Oh, gotcha. And then in the summertime, certainly, whether shows will stay on, if they win a Tony, they can stay on.
Pretty much.
If they don't win a Tony, sometimes producers keep a show alive so that it wins the Tony. I think that's scuttlebutt of that.
Well, for example, last year's Best Musical Award for the Tonys went to a surprise. It went to The Outsiders. And it has had a tremendous run. And today, it's still very difficult to get tickets to The Outsiders. And if you're going to pay $300 easily to sit in the balcony,
God, help me.
It's very expensive.
Wow.
But it's a tough ticket to come by. Never on discount.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's done very well.
Is that too much to pay for a show? Like I've gotten to the point where I don't even go to rock and roll concerts or anything like that anymore
it's same
it's just
everywhere.
too expensive.
It's expensive. But most of these shows, Pete, you can actually get tickets for about $100 or even sometimes less. So it's not
sometimes
and
less
I'm
would be
talking
great.
good seats like orchestra seats.
How does that compare with like the Bushnell that has a series of touring shows, Mark?
Well, I think the quality is equal. And, on Broadway, you might have a star in it, like Some Like It Hot had stars on Broadway.
Right.
On tour, it doesn't. But I don't think it makes a difference. And the quality of the shows that have come to the Bushnell this year have been outstanding.
Well, so what are the pricing? And when a touring show comes through, wherever you are throughout the country?
I don't want to quote specifically and be wrong, but I think at the Bushnell you can see Broadway at top price around $85.
Oh, well, that's much better than 300 or 600 or
by
whatever.
the time the Outsiders comes to them, it's going to be 85 on Broadway too.
Ah.
That's the reality.
Really?
I mean, Ellen, my friend Ellen, who Bob knows so well,
Right.
was just in Florida for 2.5 weeks, and she saw a production of Crazy for You, $300 in Naples.
What?
For tickets. So it's happening even, and she didn't feel it was worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's not Broadway. you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
And certainly they do try to temper the cost a little bit on the main tourings, of which Hartford, of course, gets, and Boston.
Right.
But they're expensive. I mean, I think $85 would be reasonable to see something like that in Boston or Hartford.
Right.
But I've seen higher price tickets.
Yes. There's a new book out by Seth Radutsky, who wrote Disaster the Musical, incidentally, with Jack Plotnick.
Yeah.
And it's called Broadway for Dummies. It's one of those, those yellow bound books that talks about Broadway and how to produce and all these great stories and stuff. You can go to YouTube and see him. He's on a book tour, and his stories are really
he's
something
very
else.
funny. Just
very
to hear.
funny. But Disaster. Did you see Disaster at all, Mark? Have you seen that?
I saw it in New York. It's cute. It will be great in Westfield at a community theater production, but it was kind of cheap on Broadway.
Right. Yeah. Even
it-
though it had some really top-notch performers, all of whom said,
It had great performers in it, but it really, when you pay Broadway prices, you want to see a big Broadway show, and it was kind of on the plain side, but it is funny. I would go see it in Westfield and feel totally comfortable that the Westfield Theater Group will do a good job with it.
Well, this is what Seth said in this interview. He said, I wrote this show. I do a benefit every year. He and his partner do lots of benefits. Yeah. And they were doing a benefit for some organization. And he said, you know what? I'm going to write something, but I'm not going to write the music because I can't write. He doesn't write, he compose. He said, what if I did a movie that spoofed disaster movies, or a musical that spoofs disaster movies? And so he sort of put it together using songs, I think, that were pop songs or something. And
It's very common today.
Yeah.
And Julia, all that stuff
Yeah.
is the same way.
So they produced it, and they did it for one night. And it sort of sat there, and then somebody called him and said, why don't we do it on an off-Broadway show? So they did it off-Broadway, and it was very popular. And then he said, and then they take it to Broadway, this tiny little show with a small orchestra, and people are paying these top dollars for a small orchestra and he was complaining, he's saying, that's one of the things that brings the cost up on Broadway.
Sure.
That the union requires that you pay for a full Broadway big orchestra, and you're getting 5 people with augmentation or something. And I don't know if that's the case with maybe Happy Endings, whether it has a full orchestra or not. Or
No, I don't. It has a small orchestra.
Small orchestra.
It's a small orchestra. I don't think that's the case. I mean, is a lot of synthesizer that's used and things like that.
Yes.
But the cost of bringing a show to Broadway is just extremely expensive between the theater rental, the stagehands, musicians, and everything.
Yeah.
I also want to speak a little bit. We've only talked about musicals, but I really love a good play.
Oh, God, yes. Give me a good play.
Well, last year's Tony Award winner for Best Play was one of the best shows on Broadway I've ever seen in my life.
Ever seen?
Ever seen. It was a play called Appropriate by Appropriate with Sarah Paulson and Corey Stahl, and it's by a newer playwright, a African American man out of Princeton, and it won the Tony for Best Play, and Sarah Paulson won as well. But it was riveting, so much so that it was so stunning that the audience at the end was shocked into not standing up. They just couldn't clap their hands. It took them, they had to catch
silence,
their breath.
how wonderful, yeah.
And then they stood up and then went crazy.
Yeah.
And that was how good it was. Now, that same author has a new play opening, I think, right now, because I got tickets to see it next month.
Yeah,
and it's
there's it's directed by Felicia Rashad.
Well, I was just going to say that.
In the New York Times today.
Yes. And it's a play called Purpose.
Purpose.
And it's about he's written other plays, but the one last year that won and this one are both about families. Last year was a family of educated children who were going back to sell their father's property in the South. He was a judge, and it was like an onion peeling open, discovering what he was really into.
Wow!
And it was shocking. And this one is about a African American family, as Mark has just said, directed by the incredible Felicia Rashad, Tony winner 3 times.
Oh yeah,
herself.
Hey, if you want to see a quilt that has Felicia's silk in it. Edjanetta Miller is friends with Felicia Rashad, Quilts of Edjanetta Miller. And Felicia bought her this Parisian silk. It's an incredible quilt, right at Westfield on Weekends, right in downtown, at any rate. It's all
about connections.
All about connections. All about connections. So Appropriate is still playing.
No, Appropriate closed.
Okay, got it.
Purpose is his new show. I think his name is, his last name is Jacob Jenkins. I got his first name. I have it here.
Yeah. And I want to recommend, Pete, how are we doing on time? I want to make sure that Kenny...
You have a couple minutes.
Oh, just a couple of minutes.
Brendan Jacob Jenkins.
Brendan Jacob Jenkins.
You're going to hear a lot about this.
Okay, gotcha. Go to Broadway HD and see the 50th anniversary of the musical Pippin, starring the incredible performer Alex Newell, who started on the Glee project and is they are a trans person, and they play Ben Vereen's role. It is so interesting to watch because finally I got the story of Pippin, and I was in it with you.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, and there is an actor there that you're going to learn. Oh my God, you have memories, etc., etc. Just so terrific.
And Alex Newell.
was
won a Tony for Shucked. Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Alex Newell is an unbelievable talent.
Out of Massachusetts, right, Mark?
Yeah, I think he's from outside of Boston.
From Lynn, Massachusetts. I saw Alex Newell in Once on This Island in New York a few years ago, and they did the song Mama Will Survive.
Oh, God.
Boy, it blew me out of my seat.
Oh, yeah. Well, to hear him do Stephen Schwartz, 50 years Pippin.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, my God. I saw it on Broadway when it first came out.
It was my very first Broadway show.
Oh, my God. You gotta tune in. I think it's on Prime Video as well. The 50th anniversary, whatever. Hey, Pete, should I play our last songs, thank our guests, and then get out of here?
Sounds good. I don't know if Kenny wants to do a little therapy, but you know.
Oh, okay, got it. Hey, let's play a song that was recommended by our Wisconsin music person, a young person who loves Broadway musicals, and he recommended a song from Spamalot, sung by a Canadian guy named Bruce Cockburn, who is he's like a folk singer or something.
Yeah, he's popular.
Do you know him?
Of course.
Oh, Bruce Cockburn.
Yeah, Michael is a big fan of Bruce Cockburn.
Oh, well, here he is singing Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Mark Auerbach, we could, all right, just do a quick run through. Survivor Stories on the radio.
Survivor Stories starts Friday, April 4th, 7 a.m.
Right.
And this Thursday night, you can see Quartetto Mosso, the Springfield Chamber Players, at the Westfield Athenaeum.
Oh, right.
Congratulations, Mark, on all you're doing.
Thank you. Oh, my God, please.
Good to see you guys.
Oh, my God. We're going to play Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. We need to do that at this time of our lives, and I wish you all the best. Go to westfieldonweekends.com for all the information, and we'll see you soon.
Good to see you.
Some things in life are bad. Other things can make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your sin, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. So always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You can see it's all a show. Keep 'em laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you.